This past weekend, I participated in Operation Ace, the very first Star Wars Squadrons tournament. It was so much fun, and I'm honored to have been part of it. As a true Battlefront Updates bombastic, Eckert's Ladder and I all put together teams of 5 to duke it out. We played for 5 hours, just queuing into fleet battle games to play and win as many as we could. The squadron with the most wins at the end won the tournament, but there were also awards for most kills, most capital ship damage, most assists, and fewest deaths. I just wanted to talk about my experience playing in the tournament, what I learned about the game, and provide some new tips for those interested. This is footage from one of our games. You can rewatch the gameplay over on my Twitch channel, which I'll link to in the description, but I'll be uploading all 5 hours here on YouTube as well. First, I just want to applaud the team behind Operation Ace. They were fantastic, and I haven't had time to rewatch their entire broadcast, but from what I saw, it was so professional and so much fun. They were bouncing around between all the teams and commenting on our gameplay, offering some great insights, and personally, I want to give a shout out to Boomstick TV, and I'm going to link to all their properties in the description, but I got to know him well over the past few weeks through Operation Ace, and because he created all of my new streaming overlays and graphics, I've had a lot of people compliment my new countdowns, for example. That was all Boomstick. If you ever need any graphic or motion design work done, I highly recommend him, but I was very impressed with the organization and professionalism of the entire event. But moving on to the actual tournament and what happened, the results were very interesting. I'm proud to say that my team, Stache Squadron, came out on top. We had the most overall wins, walking away with the Ace Squadron award just barely ahead of both Shio and Bomb Squadrons. We also took the Survivalist Award. Ashton was our support ship, and he deserves all the praise from our team. He played nothing but support for 5 hours, kept us alive and shielded constantly, and he didn't get a single kill. He was completely focused on his team, and I really think that's a key to success in this game. But not only that, he barely died the entire time. He won Survivalist by a lot. He streamed some of his gameplay, and just assume that anyone I talk about here, that there's a link to their stuff in the description, but if you want to see what an insane support player looks like, go watch him at his Twitch channel, Yeti Boatman. What I find interesting is that Eckert's Ladder's squadron, Twin Suns, they swept the rest of the awards. Most capital ship damage went to Captain Shack with nearly 1,000,000 points. Most assists went to Charlie, and most kills went to Ek. I was close, I was so close. But yet, they came in 4th place overall. They're obviously an insanely strong squadron, and I think this is ultimately a testament to the value of teamwork in this game. And I'm not trying to be snarky at all, because we played Twin Sun Squadron twice, and it mentally and emotionally wrecked me, which I'll talk about later. But our games were close, and they were a massive challenge. But Ek has done a similar video to this on his channel, and he says that they built their squadron to win commendations. And they did exactly that. I'm just kind of theorizing at this point, but I think that if they all had their own individual goals within each game, that might have pulled away from their overall goal of taking down a capital ship. I adore the emphasis on teamwork, communication, and coordination that this game has, and we kind of went overboard with it. We all set our usernames to have mustache-related call signs. We had all wings report in every single game. We had in-game team uniforms and a team victory pose, and most importantly, we all legit had mustaches. It's all silly stuff, but I genuinely do think it had this weird mental effect on us. Even after a loss, the start of the next game would have us rallying by reporting in together with our dumb call signs.
Alright, all wings report in. Stache Daddy standing by.
Stache Browns standing by.
Stache Squatch, we're standing by. I didn't fix my name.
Dash Money standing by.
Stache Rendar standing by.
Let's kick the tires and light the fires! Yeehaw!
It put us in that team mindset. Obviously, I'm not saying everyone has to do all that stupid stuff to succeed in this game. We did all of it as a joke, but I weirdly think it helped us, if only by keeping our own real-life morale up. And we absolutely needed it. Something I was not expecting was the fatigue that set in at about hour 3. My friends and I had already played Squadrons for hours and hours at a time. We've had marathon sessions, and it never once got to me. But we weren't trying to play our best, most on-point game time after time. There is so much going on in Squadrons between communication and power management and your components and, simply not crashing into things. My brain was absolutely fried by the end. I think we lost our last 3 games in a row because we just ran out of steam. We didn't have the energy to communicate anymore, and that's just something I wasn't expecting. We also played other teams in the competition 5 games in a row, and that was the worst of it. The stakes were really high for those games, and it made me a stressed out wreck. Of those other teams we got lucky enough to play, Azatru's Stache Squadron was the only one to beat us, and while it was still a close game, they came at us with highly coordinated bombing runs. They just overwhelmed us and our team comp, and that might be my big takeaway on how Stache Squadron could have done better. We practiced in the week before the tournament and found a team comp that worked well for us, and then we just never changed it. I was in an interceptor for 99% of our game time. I hopped in a bomber once or twice. I think we all needed to be more willing to mix it up and even take it a step further, have different loadouts for different situations for each ship, and I'm definitely not a balanced player right now. My performance drops off significantly if I'm not in an interceptor, and that's not great. If this game continues on in any competitive way, obviously the best teams are going to be able to adapt to any situation using any ship. Frankly, we're just lucky we got to participate in something like this early, before people are really flying out there wiping the floor with us. And speaking of luck, I have to admit that did play a part in this tournament and probably our win. There was no controlling what teams we got paired up with. I'm thrilled it worked out, and we did wind up playing Stache, Twin Suns, and Bomb Squadron, but we also played against other teams who just happened to be playing. It's very possible we got some newer teams, and the other squadrons may have been matched up with some really tough ones. That's not Operation Ace's fault, it's just how the game is designed, and I really hope we can take that element out of future competitions. If I could change one thing about Squadrons right now, I would add private lobbies. Tournaments could have actual brackets instead of leaving things up to chance. Not to mention, I would love the ability to just get 10 of my friends into one lobby and then it can randomly assign us to squadrons and we can play against each other. But considering the game has been out less than 2 weeks, I think it went great. I had so much fun playing with and against my friends for 5 hours. I feel like I bonded not only with my squadron, but the opponents. I was already friends with Azatru, Bombastic, Battlefront Updates, and Eckert's Ladder, as well as some of their squad mates, but I immediately want to get to know all of the other pilots now. I just love that 25 pilots and so many talented and hardworking people behind the scenes came together to show support for the game and show what a competitive scene might look like. Because I love this game. I think it's wonderful and it needs some fixes and balancing tweaks, but I want it to stick around. Concerns about its longevity are valid, and I hope EA continues to offer future support in the form of new maps, cosmetics, ships, whatever. I have no idea if events like this will be enough to show community interest, but it certainly can't hurt. But thank you again to everyone at Operation Ace that put the event together. Thank you to all the other pilots. It was so much fun playing with you. I think they all have their 5-hour replays up on their channels, and you should go study them if you're interested in learning some new ways to play. I'll link to all their channels in the description, and of course, thanks to my friends for agreeing to squadron up with me. I'm so proud of all of them for hanging in there for 5 stressful hours, but still keeping it fun and exciting. Check out Mark from the Templin Institute on YouTube and on Twitch, and go follow the Blunderdome and Yeti Boatman on Twitch as well. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.